Honey, I heard that you finally had the twins. I can't imagine the pain you must have been in. Geez, I have no idea how you were able to manage it with your small frame. You must have really struggled.
Me? Struggle? Giving birth to twins was totally easy. No big deal, I'm fine.
No way. Even having one baby is hard, but twins? It must be twice as difficult. I bet you must be relieved, at least a little bit. Your stomach was so huge before, you were basically carrying around dumbbells in your belly.
Yeah, as much as I love being pregnant, it's a relief to have the weight off my stomach. I'm practically light as a feather now.
I bet from this moment on, I'll treat you even better. Way better. I'll massage your feet and wash all the dishes. You'll never have to work hard again, my love. I'll love and appreciate you always, honey. How are you feeling now? Have you had some time to recover and be with the babies?
Probably because the anesthesia is wearing off. The pain's starting to sink in a little bit. But it's really not too uncomfortable. And Mama's by my side helping me with whatever I need, and the nurses and doctors working here have been very helpful. They're practically waiting on me hand and foot here, so please don't worry too much.
Okay, I got it. Let me know if there's anything at all that you're craving after using up all that energy. If you have any problems, just tell me straight away, got it? If anything happens, I'll shoot over faster than a bullet.
Oh, okay, thank you. Keep working hard.
I'll see you for dinner. I'll make you a feast, so look forward to it, okay? I'll make all your favorites.
Oh, honey, you're too sweet. I can't wait to eat whatever you make.
What's up, brother? What are you up to today? The weather is good today, and so is my mood, so what do you say to some burgers and beer tonight? Hey dude, I'm really sorry. While I would really love to, I don't think that today's the day for it. I've got something more important to do. Seriously? What are you talking about? I've never heard you turn down an offer to go out drinking, so what kind of urgent business do you have to say no to me right now? Look at these two absolute angels. They were finally born today. I'm a dad now. Harry, I can't believe they're finally here. Oh my god, just look at them. They're so adorable, I just want to gobble them up, seriously. Are they sweet little girls? Yep, they're both my little twin princesses. They're so cute, right? Just looking at them makes my heart full. They're so cute that I couldn't stop taking pictures of them for long enough to even eat. Jeez, man, that might be taking it a bit too far. Make sure to eat. Anyway, I'm so jealous. It must be nice to have such a cute family. How's the wife? Is she feeling okay after today? Yeah, she's good. She said she was feeling a little uncomfortable earlier, so I'm on my way to go check in on her right now. Man, now that I've got two daughters to look out for, I've got a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. Oh, you moron, of course you do. That's what being a parent is all about. Those kids are gonna be your world now. Anyways, congratulations. Tell the wife I said congrats as well, seeing as she did all the hard work. Sure. And let's meet up sometime to grab some drinks. Babe, I don't think I should go to the hospital, just to be safe. But don't worry too much. I should be okay.
What? Why? What are you talking about? Why would you go to the hospital? Did you hurt yourself? Are you sick?
What do you mean? I told you, didn't I? For a while now, every time I've tried to urinate, it burns a lot. It's really uncomfortable too. I can't believe that I didn't mention it to you even once. At this point, it's become pretty severe, so I think I should get myself checked out at the hospital, just to be safe.
Wow, seriously? I had no idea. I don't remember hearing about it even once. If it's happening every single time you try to urinate, then why haven't you already gone to the hospital? You should go right now. It could be something really serious, so please go get it checked out as soon as possible.
Oh, come on, I'm sure it's not that serious. They say that these kinds of issues are pretty common among men. I'm sure that most guys have this kind of problem and find out that it's super simple that they can just take some meds for, so I'm sure it'll be like that for me too. So don't worry, sweetheart. I'll probably just ask my boss if I can take half a day of work and then go see a urologist or something. more importantly, what are the twins doing right now? I want to see what they're up to. I miss them so much after only a few hours.
Daddy, it's us. We ate and now we're playing and having fun. Daddy, please don't get sick. That's what they told me to tell you, our sweet little Sandra and Sasha.
Oh my gosh, they are so cute. It's killing me. And I was thinking, thank goodness the twins don't look like me, even a little bit. Oh, what a relief. They look just like their beautiful mother. They definitely got all of your best features. I've heard somewhere that the firstborn daughter always resembles the father, so I'm glad it turned out not to be the case.
Oh, right. Well, sure, that's probably not true at all. Just look at me. I'm the firstborn daughter and I don't look like my dad at all. You'd never know we were related.
You're joking, right? You and your dad look exactly the same. You clearly got all of your features from him. Even if your backs were turned, standing side by side, it would be obvious you guys are related.
I don't think that's true. My parents always said I looked more like my mom. Don't you remember that?
No one ever said that. If you want to believe it, sure, but you definitely look like your dad. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the hospital soon, so I'll let you know how things go. Talk to you later.
Okay, please keep me updated on how things go. I know you said not to be worried, but I can't help it.
Aw, babe, just think about something else and get some rest.
Babe, where are you? You're not answering your phone and you haven't come home yet. This isn't like you. What are you doing? Are you at the hospital still? Did you have to get treated for something? Call me as soon as you see this, please.
Yo, why did you just call me just to sob me through the line before hanging up without saying a word? What's up? What happened? Do you need me to come get you? Harry? I can't believe this. What am I supposed to do now? Didn't they say you were going to go to the hospital today? What did they say? Are you okay? What, do you have cancer or some kind of deadly disease? Dude, seriously, spit it out. You're killing me over here. You know being left waiting is the thing that makes me the maddest in this world, so just spill your guts already. So just give it to me straight. What's wrong? Are you gonna die? They told me I don't have any sperm. That is totally impossible. That's the most ridiculous thing you've ever said to me. You had twins with Sarah only a few months ago. If you don't have any sperm, then how were you able to give her kids? Seriously, that doesn't even make any sense. Right? Whose daughters could they be then? I only went to the hospital because I couldn't urinate. But then they decided to do all these kinds of tests, and then the doctor asked me about it. He asked if I was married or if I had any kids. So I told him that my wife had given birth to twins only a few months ago. He asked me how that was possible, seeing as I didn't have any sperm at all. You think it sounds too good to be true, right? That I could have twins with no sperm. Really? Like, really? They told you that you were infertile? Did you tell your wife yet? No, I couldn't figure out how to. How do you even start that conversation? Hey honey, I'm infertile, so whose kids are those? If I did that, they'd send me to a mental hospital. It's definitely not that the doctor's assessment was wrong. There's no way they'd made that kind of mistake. So what am I supposed to do? No, but don't you think that they could have made that kind of mistake? Why don't you go to a better hospital tomorrow and have them test you? Just to give you some kind of peace of mind. You might be right. Maybe I'll just go and do that after all. Yeah, I'll bet at a bigger hospital their tests are more accurate. This one probably just doesn't have the best tests. I have to believe that because the alternative is just too hard. So it must be that the doctors at the first hospital screwed the tests up, right? That's what I'm saying. It could all just be a big mistake, so just go to a better hospital tomorrow and get tested before getting yourself all worked up over nothing. Even better, let's go together. I'll go with you to the hospital for moral support. Are you sure? I don't want you to have to take time out of your day to go with me. Oh yeah, bro, of course. I don't have anything going on for most of the day, so just let me know when you're ready to go and we can go. Hey, thanks, Harry. I appreciate you. I'll let you know what time to go tomorrow. I can't believe it. The tests didn't lie. Nothing makes sense anymore. No, but if you're infertile, then it can only mean that your wife had an affair. But how could she do that to you? Hey, I get that you must be out of your mind right now about all of this, but don't just decide on your own not to say a word to her. That's not the best choice when it comes to your own happiness, and you know it. For now, how about you just go home and talk sincerely to your wife about all of this, huh? There's no way you know how things will turn out if you don't talk to each other, right? Maybe you can come up with a solution after you talk everything through. Look, I don't want to point the finger at my friends, but I have no reason to be suspicious of you, right? Wait, what? What are you talking about all of a sudden? Why would you be suspicious of me? What did I do? No, never mind. I'm just losing it. I'm sorry. Since I'm not in my right mind right now, I started thinking about it. Hey, out of everyone, why would you suddenly start getting suspicious of me? You know me better than anyone that me and your wife have a bit of an awkward relationship, so why would you even go there? Knowing that, you thought I would go ahead behind your back to have an affair with your wife? I respect you and her both too much to be involved with cheating. I would never do that to either of you. It's not that I don't understand what you must be feeling right now. I just totally get being suspicious of everyone around you after finding out such shocking news. I think there's some people you need to be having second thoughts about. And what? Yeah, just forget it. It's not the time to talk about it right now. We can talk about it later. For now, you should just get back home. Go home and talk to your wife about the whole situation and see what you guys can figure out. Once that's all settled, then we can talk about this. Okay, let's table it for now. I'm sorry, Harry, and thank you for always being there for me. Honey?
Where have you been? How did things go at the hospital? You didn't check your messages or answer my calls. I was worried sick. How could you do that after telling me you were going to the hospital? I could only assume the worst. I tried calling your job and they said you'd taken paid time off. And you weren't at home either. I almost called the police to report a missing person. What's the big deal? Are you trying to play a joke on me? If so, it's not a very funny one.
I wish it was a joke. That would be better. First of all, I'm sorry for not texting you back or answering your calls. And I'm sorry for not coming home on time too. But I have something that I want to sincerely ask you too.
Something that you want to ask me? Wait, but before that, how did things go at the hospital? What did they tell you? Did they say it was something serious or nothing at all? I'd like you to start from there, since I can't help but curious and worried.
Doesn't really have to do with the issue that I was having when I was urinating, but these are the results. They say that I'm infertile. You know what infertility means, right? It means that the baseline for my sperm is too low to have kids. To put it, I'm an apple with no seeds.
What? What are you talking about? Apple with no seeds? Wait, though. I heard somewhere that even if you're infertile, there's always a very slim chance you can still conceive.
I see you're able to explain things quite conveniently, as I'd expected. That's what I thought you'd say, so I went to a bigger hospital. I asked a doctor there, and he struck down the idea that I could have conceived twins. He said that the possibility was basically zero. So don't try to make any more excuses. What have you been out and about doing?
What are you trying to say right now? I can't believe that I'm saying this, but are you suspicious of me right now? And if it turns out that our twins aren't yours by blood, then what?
I'm infertile and you're my wife, and we have twins together, even though that's turned out to be impossible? So don't I have plenty of reason to feel suspicious? Or are you saying that I'm strange for feeling that way?
Yes, I am. No matter what anyone says, you are the father to our twins. Just like it's a fact that the sky is blue and the grass is green, it's a fact that they're your daughters. I know it and my mom knows it too. And just because the probability of being able to have kids is low, it doesn't mean that the odds are unbeatable. Because we beat the odds, didn't we?
Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure about that, but fine. Then I'll just get in touch with your mom and see what she has to say. Hello, Mrs. Heath. Sorry for messaging you so suddenly. I have something to ask you, so I was wondering if you had any time to talk right now. It won't take too long.
Is it really something you need to talk about right now? I'm actually quite busy at the moment.
I'm messaging you right now because I know you have nothing else going on. I don't have a lot to say, so please just give me a moment of your time.
Okay, whatever, I get it. What is it?
I just wanted to let you know that I went to the hospital yesterday. And these were the results from the testing they did on me.
And what is this supposed to mean? Even if you send me a picture, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I'm not a doctor.
It means that I'm infertile. My sperm count is nearly 0. The possibility for me to impregnate someone is below the standard level. And so, I'm wondering what you think, since I have twins despite having this condition. I contacted you hoping that you might be able to tell me.
Wait, what are you talking about? So you're saying you're infertile? Why are you asking me as if I'm a doctor? How should I know whether you can have kids or not? I think if you have twins with Sarah, that answers the question of whether or not you can have kids.
I'm not sure that it does, though. I think it might just create more questions.
So you're saying that because Sarah had kids while you have some sort of condition, you're suspicious of her. And because of that, you decided you needed to contact me, right? Don't be ridiculous. I'm sure you're just blowing things out of proportion.
Yeah, that's right. It might be unpleasant for you to talk about. However, I thought that it was better to be sure. I'm afraid that's not the case. The doctors told me that they were definitely sure that I wouldn't be able to get anyone pregnant.
Listen, kid. It seems to me like you're really crossing the line here. Who do you think you're talking to? This is no way to talk to your mother-in-law. Why do you think I would comfort you right now? I've never liked you ever since Sarah brought you home. You're not good enough for her anyway.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, Mrs. Heath, but I've done everything that I can for Sarah, and everything that I could for you to like me. I don't know what else I could have done differently. But that's besides the point. I think you and I both know that there's no way that I got Sarah pregnant. So then we should both be asking ourselves who the father of the twins is.
My sweet Sarah would never participate in an illicit relationship. So the fact that you're insinuating such is offensive and appalling. You should be ashamed of yourself for even thinking such a thing. There's no point in getting all suspicious about things because it's impossible that she would do such a thing.
I think that this is a situation that I have every right to be suspicious about. I don't want to believe it either, but the fact is, she gave birth to kids, and there's not a chance that I was the father of those kids.
You really think that Sarah is that kind of girl? Oh, forget it. Even if she did have an affair, you should just stay with her. Why would you tear your family apart over something so insignificant? You'll never find someone better than Sarah anyway.
If she cheated on me and I stayed with her, I would never be able to forgive myself. As much as I loved her, I can never look at her the same after this. I need to look out for my own happiness over everything.
I thought I'd heard it all, but this one really takes the cake. You have no idea what you're talking about right now. Quit bothering me with this. I don't have anything else to say to you.
Hello there. Is this the phone number of Mr. Foster in apartment 1204? Hello. Yes, that's me. Can I ask why you're contacting me? Yes. Recently we've gotten some noise complaints that are seeming to come from your apartment. There has been a few of them, so I need to check in on it. Can you explain the loud noises? It helps if I know what's going on. What? Oh, it's nothing. It was just a little squabble between my wife and I. It seems we must have been a little louder than I thought. I'm sorry for any disturbance it must have caused you and the other tenants. Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I know what you must have been talking about. What? What does that mean? I heard that Sarah had the twins recently. The father of the twins. It's probably me. Are you kidding me? Jeez, I'm a little shy talking about it, but Sarah and we've been in love for quite some time now. I think you could call it a love affair, even though I'm usually quite by the book when it comes to payments. Sarah seduced me down to her level. Mr. Foster, did you know that I haven't been receiving any rent from your apartments for months now? You haven't been receiving rent? Sarah told me that she had been taking care of rent for the past several months. I guess that doesn't mean that she's been paying it? And it's not just the rent either, is it? I've paid back all of Sarah's debts for her, and I still haven't received the security deposit back either. Her debts? Sarah doesn't have any debts, and why would you be paying them back for her? Wow, it seems like there's really a lot you haven't heard about. Well, I guess since I don't want to be the bearer of too much bad news, I'll just stop talking now. I think it would be best for everyone if you got divorced from Sarah as soon as possible. That isn't for you to demand. I'm not going to do anything without talking to my wife. You have no business bossing me around. Well, if you do, then I can finally be the father that I was meant to be for my twins. You're sick. Just because the twins might not be mine by blood, it doesn't mean that they're not my kids. I've raised them from the moment they were born, and I love them. Just because you got Sarah pregnant doesn't make our twins yours. Well, I hope you have a good day, and please just try to keep the noise levels down to a minimum from now on. Thanks. Were you able to calm down a bit?
Yeah, but I'm still pretty embarrassed. I don't really like letting anyone see me cry like I was when you found me. I'd always hold my tears back growing up and wait till I was alone to cry.
It's totally normal to cry, though. Of course, if something upsetting happens, you'll want to cry about it. So you don't need to feel embarrassed at all. It doesn't really bother me at all.
Honestly, my life is pretty pathetic. I have a gambling problem. It started out just small bets once in a while, but now I'm in a mountain of debt. I'm constantly haunted by reminders of what I've done. I can't say anything to my husband, and that I'm suffering on my own is very hard and sad. I'm sorry. I also need to pay the rent a bit more quickly, don't I?
Oh, so you have some debts. Well then, I think it's okay if you pay rent each month a bit late.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. On top of my gambling debt, I owe my husband's friend $5,000 after he lent it to me and I spent it all up. And my husband doesn't know anything. I'm the worst, aren't I?
No, not at all. Everyone has hard times like this in their lifetime. It's just part of being alive. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're not a bad person at all. Sarah, I was thinking I might be able to lend you a little help.
What? You'll help me?
From now on, it's okay if you don't pay rent. I'll return your security deposit to you too. It's not a big deal. For now, just try to put out the biggest fires, and then we can work out a new situation once you get those things settled.
Really? Wait, no. No matter how much you say it's okay, I couldn't possibly accept something like that.
Of course, I'm not gonna just let you off the hook totally.
Is there something you wanted?
Actually, I've liked you for a while now, Sarah. If you don't feel the same right now, we can just talk like this. And we don't have to do anything more. We can just stop it here and go back to being landlord and tenant.
I'm flattered, but I have a husband.
You have a husband, but I don't see him by your side now. When you're feeling like this, a husband is the person you should always be able to confide in, not hide the truth from. I'm sure that it's a bit difficult and scary for you to think about, but you should give me a chance. Your soulmate could be someone besides your husband. I'll try to be someone who can protect you from things like these, Sarah. I hope you can see that I can become that kind of person one day.
It's true that I'm having some issues with my husband, but I'm not sure. I still love him.
You might love him, but you can be much happier with me. I think you're beautiful, and every time I saw you in my building, I couldn't help but notice how pretty you were. We weren't able to talk much ever up until recently, but it didn't stop me from developing a crush on you.
I see, is that so?
Yes, you're very attractive. I would do anything to make you mine. But if that's not what you want, I'll have to accept it somehow. For now, let's plan to meet in the lobby of the first floor. Wow, thanks to you, I learned so many things that I didn't want to know. All this time you were deceiving me and I had no idea. Did I just seem like a pushover to you? What were you thinking every time I was good to you? It must have felt good, right? I bet you were on cloud 9.
What are you talking about this time? Who are you saying deceived anyone?
Sure, you're really just pretending not to know up until the last moment. Fine, then here's a screenshot of my messages with our landlord. After seeing this, do you still want to pretend that you have no idea what I'm talking about? Do you want to keep making excuses now?
It's not like it's something I was doing because I wanted to. Do you really think I wanted to cheat on you? You really don't know anything. I never opened up to you, so how could you ever begin to understand? You were never there for me, so what else was I supposed to do?
You conned my friend Harry into giving you $5,000, didn't you? You went into insane amounts of debt and you asked the landlord to pay it all for you, so it wouldn't make your life too hard. And then you got the security deposit back and spent all of it paying back your gambling debts. Or am I wrong? And Harry is too nice, or rather too spineless, to say no to giving you money. He was too nervous to even say a word about it, but he eventually confessed to me.
Fine, that's right. Are you happy now? You're right that I got addicted to gambling, so I'm now in crushing debt. And you're right that the person who tried to shelter me from that burden was the landlord. But what did you do while I was struggling like that? You just pretended you were busy with work or some other excuse while just carrying on ignoring my suffering because it was more convenient for you. So I had no choice but to seek love and comfort elsewhere.
I see, you had no choice. Don't you try to rationalize your selfishness. No matter what you say, tossing me aside to have an affair with another man and giving birth to his children can't be justified so easily. Then let's take a look at getting DNA testing done. Do you really want to pursue with this lie any further?
Fine, forget it. The kids aren't yours. Are you done now? You must feel good about this.
Thank you for finally admitting it to yourself. From now on, let's be strangers. I don't even want to know you anymore. I want you to know that I intend to file for divorce and that I will pursue legal action for monetary compensation for all of your lies and deception.
You can't be serious. Where would I get the money from to pay for that?
Is that my problem? I don't know and I don't care. You can figure it out yourself. This situation is all your own doing. And as for our apartment, I guess since the landlord will be on your side, I'll just start packing. But man, you really had me fooled, didn't you? As for the kids, since they're not even mine, take good care of them. I'll see you in court, you piece of trash. My wife gave birth to twins who don't look like me. They say that the first daughter will always look like her father, but when those two were born, they didn't look like me even a little. I'll admit it, I thought it was a bit strange that I couldn't find one feature of my own on either of their faces, but I never would have thought that it was because I wasn't their biological father. I never would have known that I was infertile either. Thinking about it now, I should thank God that I took the test at the hospital. Otherwise, I would have never figured out about any of this. I wouldn't have figured out that my wife asked my friend for money behind my back. Not only that, but she was also secretly in debt from being a gambling addict. And that because of her struggle, she strayed from our marriage to cheat on me with our landlord, who she received help from. Geez, I can't believe her nerve, even thinking about it now. We ended up getting divorced, and I was able to secure some legal compensation from what she subjected me to. I ended up alone unexpectedly, but from now on, I'll be living my own happiness. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.
You know your ex-husband that I stole from you? Guess what? He got a promotion!
Yeah, I heard about that. He became a professor in a university hospital 2 years ago, didn't he?
Oh, so you already knew. I thought you should have been more surprised by this information.
Ah, I see.
Well, it's been a while that we haven't spoken on WhatsApp, and you're acting so cold towards me. Are you still holding a grudge about something that happened 5 years ago? It was ages ago now.
I'm busy, that's all. Can you just leave it?
What are you busy with? Just handing out medicine to people is such an easy job. You're too incompetent to even keep that job.
Being a pharmacist is a nationally recognized qualification, you realize. And it's not easy work at all.
Even I could do something as easy as that.
But whose fault do you think it is that I quit this job?
Well, I just told Johnny you were having an affair. And everyone believed it at the hospital. I guess everyone at the hospital was gossiping about it all the time.
It seemed he was talking to people so that he could get some sympathy and pity. And because of this, people were giving me dirty looks all the time at work. I had no choice but to end up quitting in the end. It was terrible.
Oh my, poor you. I offer you my deepest condolences.
But I never had an affair in the first place. You know that. Why did you tell that lie to Johnny?
Well, it's true that you were messing around with a guy, no? And there is even photo evidence of this knocking about.
But what you showed Johnny was a photo from when I was a student.
Well, when you were wandering about the city, you did do some sneaky things. You'd sometimes walk around with this middle-aged man, so I rushed to snap a picture of you both together.
But the guy I was with was just a customer. All we were doing was getting food out together. That's it.
What were you doing? Working as some sort of female entertainer or some sort of escort?
Yes, just to make money to pay for my college fees. Dad said he was not going to give me even 1 cent, so I had no other choice but to work.
You were a stripper, weren't you? I also worked in one of those types of bars for a while. But there were never women as ugly as you working in those places.
Hey, just quit it. Stop making things up. I can't believe you are not even apologizing to me for everything you've done. You really are the worst.
Yeah, but if it's not the truth as you say, then it shouldn't be a problem, right? You should have just explained yourself to Johnny, no? Why didn't you do that?
I had never told Johnny that I worked in those types of bars when I was a student. And so he said that he couldn't believe me because I had explained this to him afterwards and not before.
There really is zero trust between you two. But it's a divorce on the grounds of adultery, isn't it? I guess it's a good thing that he didn't sue you. Johnny's a really nice guy, isn't he? You're actually pretty lucky.
A nice guy. He totally screwed me over out of spite and I didn't get any of the assets.
Gosh, he threw you out with not even 1 cent to your name? That is pretty miserable.
Both Johnny and my work colleagues wouldn't believe what I was saying at all. And Dad also took your side with this matter, as expected. So at that time, I didn't have the energy to argue about money. I was already exhausted by everything else that was happening.
Wow, you're ugly and no one believed you. What a sad situation. But I'm beautiful, so I was able to get married to Johnny. I'm happy that I ended up with him. It's destiny, isn't it? You really are a winner when you've got a winning face like mine.
Okay, just leave it, would you? It's getting really tiresome speaking to you. You just bring up the past and I've had enough. I can't deal with you anymore.
Hey there, just wait a minute, won't you? I didn't contact you just so we could have a chat about the past. I have an important matter to talk to you about today. So that's why I've gone out of my way to get back in touch with you.
Okay. Tell me then. What is it?
Have you heard that Dad's health is deteriorating? It's not great. He's in a bad way.
Since everything that went on 5 years ago, we have been estranged. We haven't spoken at all. So I haven't heard anything at all.
It seems like he has some sort of brain disease. He now requires care.
Oh, right, I see. I didn't know this.
So yeah, please do the nursing.
What?
As As a doctor's wife, I am a busy woman and I have lots of work to do. I can't be a nurse as well. It's too much stress for me to handle.
Hey, you're a housewife. You don't have any work to do. Stop making stuff up. And you were the one who was spoiled rotten by Dad. He loved you more than he loved me. So why don't you give that love back to him now? It's time for you to do something in return.
Yes, Mom is saying that too, and now I don't know what to do. He's been good to you, so the least you can do is help him out now. Blah, blah, blah. I'm being asked to do ridiculous things. I don't like it.
Why are you being like this? If you don't want to do it yourself, you can just ask Johnny, right? Can't you hire a professional carer yourselves or something?
Well, it's a shame if you can't use your parents' money, right? You might as well.
Oh, wow. You really are a heartless human being. I can't believe this.
Well, aren't you as well?
When I was a kid, I was constantly compared to you. People always compared my looks to yours. Even my parents told me they didn't want to spend money on an ugly kid like me. I don't want to care for people who treated me like that. It's too much.
Huh?
You were the one who was doted on all the time. And you didn't have to pay for your college fees. They gave you the money for it. And even when it came to living your everyday life, they also paid for that, didn't they? Up until the moment that you married Johnny, you were receiving money from them the whole time, weren't you?
But that's something that they decided to do. It's not my fault that they wanted to give me money. And now, wouldn't it be a bit ridiculous for me to return the favor?
Yeah. So can you stop trying to make me do things that you don't want to do? I'm also busy with work. I don't have time to be a carer.
Huh? You're working?
Do you really think I haven't been employed for 5 years? Did you think I was unemployed all this time?
Well, you're so incompetent. So, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I thought that you were definitely homeless or something.
Well, that's not true. At all.
It doesn't seem like an important job anyway. Even though you went to university. You just ended up doing an easy job giving out medicines to people.
I've told you loads of times. It's not a simple job. If you don't have sufficient knowledge, you can't do it. It requires training and skills.
Don't be such an arrogant show-off. So, anyway, how about caring for Dad? You're gonna do it, right? I'll leave it up to you. Thanks.
I told you there is no way. Aren't you listening to me at all? My name is Katie. I'm a 34-year-old divorcee. My sister, Vicky, who is 4 years older, always got more love and affection than me from my parents. She was their favorite. I think that's why she grew up to be a selfish person. And for a long time, she has looked down on me and was generally rude and mean to me. I hated having a family like that. So I decided that I had to become independent from them. There was no other option. When I was a student, I studied morning and evening, as much as I could. And I obtained my qualification to become a pharmacist. I was so happy. After graduating, I found a job at the university hospital. This is where I met my ex-husband, Johnny, who was a doctor. We got married. But introducing him to my parents and my sister was a complete mistake. My sister was interested in Johnny, and all she wanted to do was break us up. So she fooled Johnny with a bunch of lies. In the end, we had to get divorced. My sister unashamedly got married to Johnny instead. After that, I fell into a depressive pit of endless unhappiness. It was terrible. So 5 years have passed, and I felt a bit better. Work is going well, and I have basically forgotten everything that happened with my sister. I have to admit, though, that I was a bit worried about my dad. I guess I love him after all. But after they treated me like this, I still don't feel like forgiving my family. So I refuse to care for my dad. However, my older sister, who refuses to listen, was acting in a completely outrageous manner. And she seemed determined to want to ruin my peace yet again.
Wow, Wow, you're working at a popular cosmetics company? Who would have thought it? Anyway, it's probably a very unimportant job. I can't imagine that you are doing any useful work there.
Huh? How did you know I was working there? I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you.
Well, I asked you to care for Dad, but it doesn't seem like you are ever at home.
Yes, which is why I refuse to care for him. I don't have time and I'm working.
So I had to ask a detective agency to check on you and find out where you worked. And Mom keeps pestering me with annoying messages. I can't deal with them anymore. If you don't come home quickly, it's gonna be really difficult. You better come home now.
Well, why don't you do something for once instead of asking someone else to do it for you? Mom is asking you to help out, right? Just do it.
I don't want to. No way.
No matter what you say, I'm not going to be his carer.
Well, shall I just do what I did last time and spread a nasty rumor and make you unemployed again?
Huh?
The reason why you cheated is because you can't help yourself. You're just obsessed with men. I'll say that. When people from work find this out, it's gonna be really difficult for you not to quit, isn't it?
So is that why you wanted to find out where I worked? I can't believe it. You really are a heartless woman.
Well, if you don't want to lose your job again, you better listen to what I am saying. So anyway, please make sure you do what I say. Otherwise, you know what's gonna happen.
Okay, I'm home.
You finally accepted then. Great, thanks for doing the caring.
I'm not going to be doing that. I told you.
Huh? As if.
I've come here to talk to Mom about it. That's why I'm here. That's all I came back here to do.
Are you messing around with me? If you don't do the care work, you know what I'm gonna do. I'll tell all your colleagues at work about your cheating. I've already spoken to my colleagues about your antics and about what sort of person you are. They know what to expect.
That is not going to be an issue. It's fine, don't worry.
Hey, but I have that photo of you, remember? It's from when you were working in that strip club. So even though you spoke to your colleagues about the situation, they won't believe you after seeing this photo.
People from my company know that I used to do that sort of work. I was bartending there, so what? It's not something I've hidden from them. That's not going to be an issue.
Oh, come on! We had reached an agreement before, so don't get carried away by this. I am definitely going to make sure that you do the caring. You'll see.
I'm moving abroad, so I won't be able to do the care work anyway. I'm out of here.
Huh?
Well, because of something related to work, it's been decided that I'm going abroad. Exciting, isn't it?
I bet you are lying.
No, it's true. But why do I care if you don't believe what I'm saying? In all honesty, I have a better life than you anyway.
You are always so vain and pretentious. Guess what Johnny's salary is? He earns more than $70,000 in a year. I won't believe that you earn more than that amount. There is no way.
Huh, that's lower than my monthly wage.
Huh? What do you mean? That's obviously a joke.
Well, I'm the CEO of my company, and actually, the yearly turnover is over $7 million.
Are you serious?
If you used a detective agency to spy on me, how could you not even find that out?
Well, I guess I didn't check properly. And it costs a lot of money to do a full comprehensive search. So I went with just a basic check.
So you didn't even know that I was the CEO of this company.
But how did you get to be the CEO of such a popular cosmetics brand? I don't understand how you manage that. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Well, I made the most of my background in pharmacy. And then I set up a brand of makeup that was easy on people's skin. There was a huge buzz around it. I got a lot of attention.
Are you serious?
Yes, even people prone to allergies can use it without worrying. That's why it's so popular. The company garnered attention in the world of healthcare, and people from all around the world are big fans now and use this makeup regularly.
But earth did you start this business? After your divorce, you were thrown out without a cent to your name. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, I relinquished my assets, but I have my own savings. So that's what I did. And I had some acquaintances who were happy to invest in my idea. And talks continued smoothly until I started the business.
You have those sorts of acquaintances?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, it's the guy you took that photo of with me.
With that old man?
Yes, when I was working in those bars, he happened to be one of my regular clients. He approved of what I wanted to do and decided to take the leap and invest in me.
How can you get to be good friends with a rich man like that? It doesn't make sense.
Oh, well, that's because I was working in the most popular bar in Manhattan.
What a lie! An ugly girl like you?
It's well known that in these types of bars, the prettiest girls always make the best tips. Well, that's what people tend to think. But if you are cultivated, refined, and have good conversation skills, you can also do well. It doesn't matter if you are not the most beautiful girl in the room. You can still make a lot of money.
I don't understand this.
Well, you don't have a bad face. You're not bad looking at all. But you don't really know how to serve customers well. You were just working in a seedy lowbrow place, weren't you?
Huh? How did you know that?
Oh, you know how it goes. You hear things and gossip circulates. Apparently you never remember customers' faces and only talked about yourself. I'm not surprised. I heard clients used to call your stage the bathroom break. Oh, and the owner told me she's never had a girl get 0 lap dance requests since she opened the place.
Okay, well, we don't need to talk about it.
So you ended up not catching any patron to marry, even into your 30s. That's why you changed your strategy, right? So you decided to snatch Johnny away from me and get married to him, a man of wealth and high social standing. That was your plan all along, wasn't it?
Well, Dad was close to retirement age at that time. So I thought I should get married as soon as possible. And Johnny had a good salary and was a doctor.
I'm disgusted with you. You really are a piece of work. But you know, in those days when you were working in the clubs, you were so vain and could not stop wearing expensive clothes all the time. You were always buying luxury jewelry as well. You got into debt buying all these beautiful things, didn't you?
Huh? How do you know about the debt as well? I can't believe this.
I heard from Mom. You also put the debt in Dad's name, didn't you? Apparently you borrowed over $7,000 or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. But since being in debt, time has passed. 5 years has passed, to be exact. And before long, Dad repaid the debt. Did you know that? So it's all okay.
Huh? You didn't even pay back $1?
What?
You told Dad that you would pay it all back if you married someone rich, right? So you asked him to lend you money to cover the debt, right?
I remember that. So didn't Dad advance the money and pay it back?
But after getting into debt, you got married straight away to Johnny, didn't you? So in the end, Dad thought that it would be you who would pay back the money, since you got married to Johnny. But it doesn't seem like the money was repaid at all.
I did not hear that. That cannot be true. And anyway, if they want their money back, wouldn't there have been letters from the debt company demanding the money? I think they did come, but since I told Dad that you were the guarantor, they would come after you.
He thought that you would receive a similar letter about the debt. So he just ignored those letters.
Huh?
And today I checked our family affairs, the posts and all that stuff. And it looks like there is some correspondence from court.
Does that mean I'm going to get tried in court?
Well, you ignored the debt for a really long time. You are in a bad situation. That's usually what happens. You get summoned by court.
Please forgive me.
You and Dad. Well, this whole family. You are all pretty stupid, aren't you? I am embarrassed that we are related and share the same genes.
Paying back $300K. It really is too much.
Well, if you include interest, it's about double that amount, isn't it?
Is it that much? You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe this.
Well, if you don't do anything and leave the debt to increase like that for 5 years, that's how much it ends up being. What goes around comes around. It's karma, isn't it?
Hey, you better help us out. We are family. That's what family is for.
Even though you are my family, it doesn't mean much, really. From a legal standpoint, there is no issue. I have no legal obligation to help out with the debt. It's not my responsibility. So I'm not going to help you guys out.
Well, I will ignore the debt as well then. It's all in Dad's name anyway. Nothing to do with me. Hey, but you are the guarantor, aren't you? So you have no choice.
If you ignore the debt, you'll be the one who ends up having to take it over, as the guarantor. So I wouldn't advise that.
Oh, I get it, okay. Well, I'm gonna ask Johnny for help. He'll help us out some way. I'm sure he'll work out a way. His yearly salary is $500,000.
I wonder if his yearly salary can deal with that this time.
Huh? What are you trying to say? What do you mean?
Oh, well, I just happened to hear something. Apparently, Johnny messed up at work. He made a big mistake, and it seems like he is gonna get sued.
You must be kidding me. What? So does this mean he's gonna get arrested?
Probably not to that point. But his patient is still suffering symptoms of his medical error. I think there will be some sort of financial penalty, and he will also be banned from practicing in the medical system.
So you are saying that he is not going to be a doctor anymore? Is that what you mean? You can't be serious.
Yes, it seems like it will end up like that for Johnny.
I can't believe this. Why now? This is the worst possible time for something like this to happen to us.
I guess Johnny's medical expertise is not quite there. He is not as skilled as you might think.
Why did you get married to a guy like him? I don't understand.
Well, he was a sociable and friendly guy, and popular as well. People liked him. And I like him too. I was attracted by that, which is why I wanted to get married to him. I didn't imagine that we would end up breaking up. I never imagined it would turn out like this.
Yes, it's true. He is a nice guy, popular, and always makes good conversation.
Well, that's the thing. Because he is such a friendly and sociable guy, he gets away with more. When those rumors spread about me, everyone ended up supporting Johnny. It was a really difficult period for me. No one seemed to want to believe my side of the story.
Yeah, but until this point, he hasn't messed up at work, has he? He was promoted 2 years ago, right? He has been a successful doctor for a while now. So making a mistake now, it's just a complete accident, isn't it?
Well, he was so liked by the people around him that his mistakes were getting covered up by his colleagues. However, up until this point, they weren't huge mistakes, so it wasn't as serious.
Well, it would be good if people could help him this time again. No? Why can't they help him now?
Well, when you become a professor, less and less people cover your mistakes for you. When I heard about Johnny's promotion, I thought to myself that he would eventually do something stupid and mess up somehow.
But if a doctor is promoted, isn't being skilled at the profession one of the most important things?
Well, skill is important, yes. But as is getting on well with colleagues, and also having a little bit of luck, to be honest. Johnny just had good timing, which is why he was promoted.
Huh?
But I'm glad we got divorced before anything serious happened. To be honest, I need to thank you for that. You kind of saved me. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry for everything until now. I feel so terrible about everything. Please forgive me. So come on. Please help me out. We are in a mess.
After all this, you suddenly change your attitude? How surprising.
I don't have anyone else to rely on. Please, can you help me? My parents-in-law don't like me either.
Huh? Why don't they like you?
They seemed concerned about you. It seemed like they couldn't forgive me for us getting married after Johnny's divorce. It was all too much for them to handle.
Oh, really? And I thought that no one really cared about me at the time. It seems that my father-in-law seemed to believe in me at least. I feel a bit better knowing that.
That's so unhelpful right now. I can't pay the rent. Please, can you do something? We're anything. I'll listen to anything you have to say. Just please help me out. I already told you I'm sorry.
Well, wouldn't it make sense if you lived at our parents' house? Our parents already own their house, so you won't have any rent to pay, right? That's my advice.
But I'm gonna have to do the caring. I don't want to do that. It's gonna be awful.
Hey, you're a housewife, so you have plenty of free time, right? I'm sure you can do it. Come on, stop acting like a child.
Oh, please, Katie. I'm begging you. Can't you just give me even a little bit of money to help me out? It would mean so much.
No way. Anyway, I'm busy now. I've got things to do. I've got to go now. Bye. Johnny ended up receiving a ban from practicing medicine, and he was also fined. And as for the debt that Vicky built up, it was repaid in the end. But there were nearly no savings left between the two of them. Everyday life became harder for them. So the two of them went to live at our parents' house. And even though Vicky and my mom were both living there as long-term housewives, they didn't want to do the caring or do any work at all. Instead, they continued to be rude to each other, continuously trading selfish jibes. Johnny managed to find a job somewhere, so he started working. But his income was less than half of what he had been earning when he was a professor. Eventually, my sister also decided to start working a part-time job. But because of her ill-tempered and selfish nature, she did nothing but cause trouble. She was continuously changing jobs. And with no stable income, she spent her days being chased around, being made to care for Dad. Well, and as for me, things got even better. Work is going well abroad, and I am living happily. It was a tough path to get here. And as for my sister and my parents and my ex-husband, they got what they deserved, didn't they? I'm so relieved. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.